88th minute in Los Angeles, a 20-yard drive, and Belgium's substitute goalkeeper spills it, straight to the feet of a man who came on 120 seconds ago. You already know his name, because he did this 4 days ago. Stay with me, because Spain's unbreakable streak died tonight, and they reached a semi-final anyway. Belgium just suffered the cruelest exit of this World Cup, and the semi-final this sets up is basically a final. Let's go. Mikel Merino, on in the 86th, scores in the 88th, with his second touch of the match. 2-1 Spain, full-time. La Roja are in a World Cup semi-final for the first time since they lifted the thing in 2010, and soak up the absurdity of this man's week. In the entire history of Spanish football, a substitute has scored a World Cup knockout winner exactly twice. Both times were Mikel Merino. Both times were this week. 16 touches, 2 shots, 2 match-winning goals across his last 2 cameos. He's the first Spaniard ever with 2 World Cup winners in the 80th minute or later. His own explanation afterwards, it would seem that coincidence exists. Sure, Mikel, sure. Now rewind. Because Belgium's night was cursed before it even started. Their captain, Yuri Tielemans, injured in the warm-up. De Bruyne handed the armband at the last minute. Then Spain did Spain things. Fabian Ruiz, promoted to the 11 in place of Pedri, pounced on a rebound on the half hour. 1-0, and the wall marched on. Except, 4 minutes before half-time, Charles de Ketelaere muscled past Cubarsí and headed in Castañ's cross. And with that one header, 649 minutes of Spanish shutout football, the entire tournament without conceding, was over. The first man to score on Spain at a World Cup since Japan in 2022, and it drew him level with Lukaku and Tielemans as Belgium's greatest ever knockout scorers. So the streak died, the wall cracked, and for a while, Belgium genuinely believed De Kuiper lashed one into the side netting early in the second half with their tails up. But here's tonight's brutal truth. The streak dying didn't matter, because the game turned on an injury instead. Thibaut Courtois makes a near-post save from Oyarzabal, feels his thigh, and leaves the pitch in tears. On comes Sene Lammens, the first goalkeeper not named Courtois to play a World Cup match for Belgium since 2002. 16 minutes later, Cubarsí lets fly from 20 yards. Lammens gets hands to it and spills it. Merino, roof of the net. Belgium threw everything forward. Laporte volleyed their last chance out of the box, and that was that. And the numbers say Spain earned their luck. 17 shots to 5. Over 2 expected goals to 0.4. A 28th consecutive World Cup match with more possession than their opponent. That is double the longest run any other nation has ever managed. Rodri completed more line-breaking passes in the final third than anyone at a World Cup since Toni Kroos in 2014. And their coach, Luis de la Fuente, has now managed 13 matches across World Cups and Euros without ever losing one. More than any manager in history. But spare the moment for Belgium, because there is no crueler exit at this World Cup. They lost their captain in the warm-up, De Bruyne, pulling on the armband one last time. They scored the goal nobody could score. De Ketelaire's header drawing him level with Lukaku and Tielemans as their greatest ever knockout scorers. They defended a full half against the possession kings of world football. And Belgium hadn't even needed a second big chance to believe. And then they went out because their legendary keeper's thigh gave way mid-save, and the kid who replaced him, making Belgium's first non-Courtois World Cup appearance since 2002, made one mistake in the tournament of his life. Think about what this group gave this tournament. 2-0 down with 5 minutes left against Senegal, and a winner in the 125th minute, the latest in World Cup history. 4 goals in Seattle, with their stars rested, and now this. De Bruyne, Lukaku, Courtois. That golden generation almost certainly just played its final World Cup match together. What a way to go. So, debate 1. Belgium, out to a warm-up injury, a thigh injury, and a spill. Is this the unluckiest exit in World Cup memory? Or do Spain's 17 shots say the better team simply won? Luck was just the delivery method. Pick a side, comments. Either way, look at what it built. Because Tuesday's semi-final might be the real final. Quick one. Subscribe to Pitchside FC for a fresh debate every morning. Right, the blockbuster. Player of the day. 3 contenders. Mikel Merino, obviously. 2 minutes on the pitch. 1 semi-final delivered. History made twice in a week. Charles de Ketelaere, the man who ended a 649-minute streak and dragged himself level with Lukaku as Belgium's great knockout scorer. And Fabian Ruiz, promoted into the 11 at Pedri's expense, repaying it with the opener and 90 minutes of control. For me, it's Merino. You simply cannot argue with 2 knockout winners in 1 week off the bench. But if you're voting de Ketelaere in defeat, the only man to solve the unsolvable defense, I completely understand. Who's yours? Pick a side. And zoom out, because last night confirmed the defining pattern of this entire tournament. Goalkeepers are deciding everything. Udunu made 6 saves and a penalty stop, and Morocco still went home. And within 16 minutes, Belgium were beaten by his replacement Spill, because Norway's Nyland already has a penalty save at this World Cup. And remember, it's Sunday, because if Argentina against Switzerland reaches a shootout, the keepers are the story. Now, the blockbuster those keepers built. France versus Spain. Tuesday, the tournament favourites against the European champions. The machine that's won all 6 without extra time, against a team now unbeaten in 37 matches. Mbappe, if that ankle holds, against Rodri's metronome and Yamal's magic. Merino, whose own teammates now call the games you dream of as a kid, lurking on the bench with 2 winners in a week. And here's the spice. The models make France the favourites, roughly 41-30, the first time all-tournament Spain start a match as underdogs. The team whose 6-game shutout just died, against the team that scores in every single match. Think about the collision of styles. France barely need the ball and score in flashes. Spain suffocate you with it. 28 straight games of possession dominance. France's wall conceded once all tournament, to a penalty. Spain's wall just cracked for the first time in 649 minutes. 2 near-perfect machines, 1 flaw each, and only one gets to the final. Whoever survives Tuesday will start it as a massive favourite. This is the final, 4 days early. But before Tuesday, tonight might be even better. Quick golden boot check, because nobody at the top moved last night. And that's exactly what makes tonight enormous. Mbappe 8, leading on the assists tiebreak. Messi 8, and then the 2 men who play each other in a few hours. Haaland on 7, Kane on 6. A goal tonight puts Haaland level with the Giants. A brace puts either of them TOP. The race has never been this alive this late. Which brings us to the night itself. Because tonight is the biggest night of this World Cup so far. First, Norway against England in Miami. Haaland against Kane. 7 golden boot goals against 6. Head-to-head. Haaland has scored in every single game he's played here, and he just sent Brazil home with a brace. Kane has scored in every knockout round and passed Pelé on the all-time list. Mbappe and Messi sit on 8, watching from their sofas. The models say England, roughly 50-24, but the models said Brazil too, and Norway won that tie with less than 1 expected goal. Fairy tales don't read models. And then, in the small hours, Argentina finally walk into the Swiss trap, the champions and their escape act against the team that has not conceded a single knockout goal, unbeaten in 10, perfect from the spot. 2 near-death escapes in 5 days, meeting the one side built never to hand a lead back. Messi against the wall. And if it goes the distance, remember, Switzerland went 4 for 4 in their shootout, and Messi has missed 2 penalties this month. Both verdicts, right here, tomorrow morning. Set your alarms. And here's the full road from here. Semi-final 1, France against Spain, Tuesday. Semi-final 2, Wednesday. Tonight's winner against Sunday morning's winner. The final, July 19th. 8 days, 4 teams, 3 matches, 1 champion. Every episode from here is appointment viewing. So, tonight's big one, and it's a triple. 1, Belgium, cruelest exit ever, or beaten fair and square. 2, France against Spain, hand on heart. Who's winning the real final on Tuesday? And 3, by this time tomorrow, only 4 teams will be left standing. Name your final 4, right now, in the comments, and let's see who called it. Pick a side. Best takes get pinned. Subscribe to Pitchside FC and turn on notifications, because tomorrow morning is a double verdict, Haaland Kane and the Swiss Trap, in 1 episode, and after that, it's semi-finals, daily, all the way to July 19th. Pitchside FC. Pick a side.